Writer is a nicer word. Intellectual is a sociological term. It's a modern word. I mean, nobody was called an intellectual, I think, until the late 18th century. But writer, you know, author, whatever, is a more neutral term. Intellectual comes with lots of associations that I don't think are necessary, like some idea that you are very detached or very theoretical or something, which I don't feel. I'm not detached and I'm not theoretical. So I like the word writer. It seems more modest. I definitely prefer writing fiction to writing essays, but I'm always giving in to this impulse to write essays because I think it's useful. And so my moral conscience is a great burden to me because I say, well, I really rather just go back to my novel. But I have these ideas about war and about image and reality, so instead I give up the novel, the new novel I'm working on, and I write this essay. It's a vice I am hoping to cure, a weakness I'm hoping to cure, writing essays, because it's much more enjoyable to write fiction. And it's a much larger project. I mean, you can put essay elements in fiction, but you can't put fiction elements into essays, I think, yes. I want to be clear, and I want to be eloquent, and I want to be original. Those are big standards. So how do I get this result? I rewrite, and I rewrite, and I rewrite, and I rewrite. This book, which is not long, took me 1.5 years to write.
It's full-time writing.
Pretty much, yeah. I wrote it again and again and again and again. Yeah, but you know, always to get more into it and also to make it clearer. So the reader should not feel how hard I worked. The reader should feel that it was quite easy, but it wasn't. It wasn't easy at all. Yeah. The wonderful part about writing novels is that you can put all your contradictory opinions in the novel and you give them to different characters. So I have people in my novel that think America is wonderful. I have people in my novel that think America is awful. I have people in my novel that think everything in between. And the truth is, I have all these contradictions. I don't have just one view about America. I'm very angry with the American government. I'm very angry with the direction that the country is going now under the present leadership. But of course there are wonderful things about America. And above all, the truth is, I'm not a nationalist of any kind, and I don't like to be, I'm against being controlled by national or tribal loyalties. I think the highest state is to be at home everywhere or at home nowhere. Every place you feel critical of and every place you also feel at home. What happens to most people as they get older is that their sense of what is possible gets smaller and smaller. When you're very young or when you're a child, you know, you have this huge sense of the possible. And then it seems as if life comes along and bangs you on the head and says, don't be a dreamer, no way, remember the limits, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. So you have to, it's like fighting against gravity, almost. You have to struggle against that thing that comes with getting older. I mean, I'm sure you're both very young, but I'm sure you already feel that people are saying, you can't, it's not possible. Well, as you get older, you will find more and more that that's what life seems to be telling you, especially also as you have more responsibilities. Maybe you have children, maybe you have difficult personal relationships, family obligations, work that seems insecure, whatever. And then you are just struggling to keep your face above the water, and it doesn't seem as if you can just fly off and do strange things. But you can. You can if you still leave a place for imagination and for the possible. And if you are willing to accept a certain amount of separation from the main way that people behave. I mean, if you are going to be a creative person, you will be in some way a dissenter. You will be in a disagreement with a lot of what is going on in your society. Now, people don't like to be in disagreement, and they don't like to be criticized, and they don't like to be disliked. I'm constantly being described as someone who speaks my mind, and being praised for this. When I hear this, I think, if I were a man, would people say, now here is so-and-so who speaks his mind? No, never, never, never. There's an extra struggle. What I was saying before was about everybody, but there's an additional struggle for women, no doubt about it, to lead independent, adult, adventurous lives. It seems as if the whole of society is a conspiracy to say, don't do it.